The Reds are back at training following a bye week, and these are exciting times here at the Kia Training Ground, considering that we are now in September. Yes, it is weird to say that, but fall is right around the corner, which means that playoffs is within arm's reach, and this is a good opportunity for the Reds to get some rest. But that being said, they have fallen back to third place in the Eastern Conference just by virtue of some other fixtures that were being played.
That doesn't bother me whatsoever, Danielle. Full credit to the Red Bulls who traveled out west to defeat a depleted Vancouver Whitecaps side. But this is the international break. A number of teams were missing key players. And Toronto FC, because they had the bye week, I mean, the absences of Ricketts and Bradley and Altidore was completely nullified by the fact that they didn't play. And it was a good time to hit the reset button a little bit. The fixtures built up and came fast and furious, and it's good to kind of move on and have time to recoup after a disappointing loss to the Montreal Impact. So it's not about what's behind them, it's about what's ahead, and they're still in a very good position in the East.
And looking at what's ahead, 4 games this month in September, all played against Eastern Conference opponents, the first of which will be against the Chicago Fire, and Greg Vanney has some decisions to make in terms of selection.
Obviously, we're missing a number of guys between international call-up and a few guys that we're trying to regenerate, and some guys who are injuries, trying to get them back. So we've had fairly small numbers for last week, and numbers are starting to build now as we go into the weekend. And obviously, we'll get some guys back after games tonight, and then we'll do final preparation for Chicago. But by and large, the mood is good. Guys are working hard, and we're just trying to take steps forward with the numbers that we have.
Gareth, it's interesting to think that 22 games this season are accumulated for absences between Michael Bradley, Josie Altidore, and now Sebastian Giovinco. And the fact that Toronto FC is in this position in the standings at this point in the season, that's a tribute to the depth of this team.
Well, let's talk about the durability of Sebastian Giovinco. For such a small player, he's such a tough player. And he's only missed 2 MLS games over the last 2 years while being here in Toronto. Once last year in a loss to Seattle, it was a depleted team that night, and once in a 1-1 draw with Columbus this time around. And I just wonder how they're going to compensate or maybe play differently without Sebastian Giovinco. And interesting to me, Danielle, both of those games that Giovinco missed, Toronto FC played with 3 in the back, and they've done so very well this season as well. So I wonder if we'll see that being the preferred formation while Sebastian Giovinco's on the sidelines.
Do you think this allows for flexibility in terms of offensive production? You look at the numbers this season in terms of statistics, a lot of the goals are coming from the defenders. Drew Moore specifically has 3, and Justin Morrow has 3. Is it time for some of the midfielders to step up?
I think it's a fair point. No, the midfield has changed in shape, not only in terms of the way that they play, but personnel as well, what contributes to that statistic. I'll go to another 3-goal scorer, though, in a player like Jordan Hamilton. Hasn't played since August 3rd just because Ricketts has come into the team, Altidore has come back, but a player who scored 2 really big goals to earn points against Columbus and against Seattle earlier this year. He could be a key player, especially considering Altidore and Ricketts are coming back. I'm just not sure if this midfield is made up to score and produce a lot of goals. So I look at the supplementary offense or the brunt of the goal scoring being taken care of by an attacking player like Jordan Hamilton getting another opportunity.
So they head out to take on the Chicago Fire, and they're hitting them at an interesting point of the season. It's crazy to think that the Eastern Conference is so tight right now. They're only 6 points out of that final playoff spot.
And Chicago's been a mess the vast majority of the season, but they picked up 8 points in their last 5 games. An impressive victory last weekend, 3-0 over the Philadelphia Union, yet this team still can concede goals. They shipped 6 to the DC United 2 weeks ago, so I still think it's a team that Toronto FC just needs to take care of themselves and be more organized and be patient against a team like Chicago, which is on a very good run of form at home, 12 straight undefeated.
That game will all be taking place this Saturday, 8:30 p.m. on Sportsnet 360, and that will also be Jerry Dobson's final call,
yes.
So you don't want to miss it. But we will keep you updated throughout the week, so make sure you keep it locked at torontofc.ca.